During the 30 years my wife, Ann Ward, has been a real estate agent, she's come up with some pretty good stories. Ann really enjoys listing houses, and to list a house you have to get it just all right before the buyers come in. Some of these houses have been a little difficult to list. Occasionally you find something inappropriate, something that when buyers walk through the house you really wouldn't want them to see. You ever had something like that happen?
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I have several times. My favorite one was a listing that I was going to go out to talk to the owners about the house and to take a look at it, see what I thought the price should be, what we needed to do. Did we need to stage it? Did we need to move some new furniture in or out or do whatever? So we made an appointment and I went over there. This is a house in Lafayette, and I went over there to look through the house. And it turned out the wife wasn't there. She was at work. But the husband was, and he was a teacher in Moraga. Very nice gentleman, had two boys, was it two children, one boy, one girl that were high school age. They were there briefly and then they left, and the husband was showing me through the house. And it was a very interesting house, and he said that both he and his wife did a lot of work in the office, and that she wasn't there, as I said, she was at work, but she'd be back later, and he'd show me through the whole house. So we went through room by room, and I made some mental notes about what we needed to do to kind of clean it up and what we needed to move around. And then we went to the sort of the back wing of the house, which was, he said, this is where our office is. And as I walked in, there were two big desks, and one of them had all kinds of school books and papers and pens and a computer, et cetera, et cetera. And the other desk had stacks and stacks of uh, videotapes, and another computer, and all kinds of pencils and notes and whatever else. And surrounding the room, and this was a huge room, were bookshelves. And some of them had books, the titles of which were amazingly inappropriate. But what was really unusual was from floor to ceiling were about 5 cabinets full of pornography videos. And I'm talking about hardcore, really gross pornography and very visible. I mean, the covers, the titles, everything very, very visible. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is a family home. There are 2 kids in this house. What is going on? And I'm trying to think, okay, this is their private life. This is none of my business. But if I'm going to sell this house, what am I going to do with all this porno all over the place? So I kind of looked at him and I said, we're going to have to figure out what to do with some of your collection here. I thought that was a good term. And he said, oh, actually, no, those are all my wife's. And I'm going, oh, this is not cool. I said, oh, really? And he said, yeah, actually, she's a professor at Cal, and she needs to have these for her classes she teaches. And I am thinking, uh-huh. Well, it turns out that she was a professor and extremely well known who taught women's studies, and she was doing a specialty on abuse of women and society and the role that women play in that particular role. And this literally was, her collection for her classes. So the solution was, obviously she needed to have those things there, and obviously I could not have people with little kids and everybody walking through a house and seeing her porno collection. So what we did was we got some of those curtains that on rods, and we put them suction cup rods up so they could be removed and opened, and covered the whole thing. So when you walked down in this room, it now looked like curtains all the way around the room. If somebody had actually looked behind them, they would have been a little amazed, but they probably wouldn't have looked for very long. And so that worked, and again, did sell it, but it was kind of a creative solution to a difficult situation, I guess. But it sold.